Hello, hello. This is Sarah Haas, and you are listening to the Boss Body Podcast. Thanks so much for tuning in. I am really glad that you are here with me today. Today's episode is going to be relatively short and sweet, but it is a topic that I know a lot of you want to know. And that burning question is, how do I figure out what my ideal weight is? So I get this question a lot when a new client comes to me, because we talk about where are you now and where do you want to be? And inevitably, most of the time, the first thing that comes up is, I want to lose weight and I want to be this specific number. And then I'll ask them, how did you come up with that number? And there's a lot of different answers for that. And so I want to dive into that a little bit so that you can figure out what your ideal weight really should be versus what you think it should be. So there's a couple of different measures that we often use. And the first one is just the number on the scale. And let me say that that number is definitely not as important as we think it is. And the reason is muscle weighs more than fat. So you could actually be in really good health and be very strong and well and still look at the number on the scale and be hard on yourself and think it needs to be lower. So that is just really not a good measure to go by. And the second one that doctors often use is BMI. And BMI has a range and it goes by your height and your weight, and it's sort of a percentage wise. And that one is also very flawed because it doesn't take into account your muscle, just like the scale number, and B, it doesn't take into account your body type. So you could be very fit and strong and in shape, and your BMI could still be on the high end. So I want to dispel the myth that those two measurements of whether or not you're healthy and whether or not you're at your ideal weight are not really the way to go. The other one that we often use is, what does society say I should look like? What is the ideal goal weight for a woman? And obviously, that is not what we want to be comparing ourselves to. It's unrealistic. We know this. We're told over and over again, but it's so hard to make it sink in and to really believe it. We compare ourselves. We see other celebrities who just had kids and immediately dropped the weight, or we're looking at their Instagram perfect weight and we're just feeling like we have fallen short. And the fact is, that isn't real. It's just not real. We know it's airbrushed. There's lighting, there's Photoshop. And even if they are in, good shape, in reality, that is based on just societal values, or our society worships beauty and being thin. And it's so different all over the world what the ideal woman, quote, ideal woman should look like. And over time, that has changed as well. And in different cultures, it's different. So there is no ideal. It's just a social construct, and it's something that we have to stop buying into if we're actually going to be healthy physically, mentally, and spiritually, and start to feel good and positive about ourselves and start loving our bodies and nourishing ourselves. So immediately, just take that out of the equation. Stop comparing. Stop looking at other people. That is not your ideal weight. So let's dive into what it actually means to be at your quote healthiest weight, ideal weight, goal weight, however you want to say it. And what that is, I call it, is the sweet spot, right? So first of all, go to your doctor. Get your numbers measured, get your blood work done, get your cholesterol checked, get your blood pressure checked. And you want all those numbers to be in a healthy range. You want your glucose, your blood sugar level to be normal and not pre-diabetic or diabetic. You want your blood pressure to be in normal range. You don't want to have high cholesterol. That's the first measure of health, is when you go to the doctor and the doctor says, hey, everything looks normal. You're doing great. All right. The other thing is, can you move around freely? Are you able to do all the things you want to do in life? Can you hike? Can you do yoga? Can you play with your kids or your grandkids? Because if you aren't strong and you aren't flexible and you don't have good balance, no, you're not in good health. Even if your numbers are good, you also want your body to be strong, and just for your own joy, you want to be able to do whatever you want to do in life. Another one is, do you feel good? Do you have energy? Are you sleeping well? Do you wake up every day and say, hey, I feel good. I'm ready to go out there and do whatever I want to do. If you're feeling tired, if you're feeling sluggish, if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling unmotivated, that isn't healthy, and that's a red flag and something you want to look into. Another one is, are you nourishing your body? Are you getting the food that you need? Are you getting the minerals and the vitamins and the macronutrients? Are you getting enough vegetables? Are you getting enough fruit? Are you getting enough protein? Are you getting enough healthy fats? Because even if your numbers say everything's okay for now, if you're not doing that, more than likely they're going to start to, go in the wrong direction. So what's your day look like? What's your diet look like? What are you consuming? That is a huge indicator of your health now and your health in the future. Another one is, are you exercising? Is there a movement that you are doing regularly in your life that you enjoy? Because your heart, your lungs, your body cannot be healthy if you're not moving around. So if you're like me and you have a job where you're sitting a long part of the day, make sure that you are balancing that out with some kind of movement. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's walking, dancing, yoga, weightlifting. Make sure you're getting out there and you're moving your body. Also, what are your cravings like? Do you struggle with sugar cravings or maybe salty processed foods like potato chips? Because those are real red lights to something's going on in your body that is out of balance. Maybe your gut health isn't well. Maybe it's some emotional eating that you need to get under control, but your cravings are a real insight into what is going on inside your body. And if you're craving things that you know are not healthy for you and you are overeating those things, it's definitely something that you need to take a look at. And you want to make sure that you aren't overeating. And by overeating, I don't mean counting calories or weighing your portions, nothing extreme. What I mean is, are you stuffing yourself? Are you feeling overfull and uncomfortable after a meal? Do you have digestive issues? Are you feeling bloated? Are you, not regular or maybe the opposite direction? And are you drinking too much? Are you over consuming alcohol? I have mentioned this before on previous podcast. Alcohol is not good for our bodies. Yes, it does have some health benefits, but 1 to 3 drinks per week give you the benefit. Anything over that, the negative actually outweighs the positive. So I've said before, I enjoy my glass of wine, but you've got to do it in moderation. And 1 to 3 drinks is a good rule of thumb. Definitely no more than 1 drink a day. Another indicator of your overall health is, how do you look and feel in your clothes? And I don't mean, do you look perfect? I don't mean, do you look like you did when you were 20? I mean, are you comfortable? Do your clothes fit well? Are they not tight and uncomfortable? And do you feel confident when you look in the mirror? Do you feel confident moving throughout your day in your body? And there's a fine line there, because we like to talk shit to ourselves. We are our worst critic. So I'm not talking about being a perfectionist. I'm not talking about you look in the mirror and you go, oh, my body has changed over the years and now I look terrible and I look horrible and I look fat. There's a real difference between actual healthy and having a skewed image of what you think your body should look like. So if you are getting healthy physically, mentally, and emotionally, you're going to start liking what you see. You're going to start feeling happy with the way you look and how you feel in your body. And the last thing I want to mention, and this is really key, this is your sweet spot. What I mean by sweet spot is you're balancing out. If you're happy with your food and your diet, you're not feeling restricted, you're not feeling hungry, you're not feeling like you're on a diet, you're eating in a good, balanced way, and you're healthy. So you might be happy with your food, but you're eating too many sweets and you're eating too much cake, okay? I mean, do you feel like you're eating healthy most of the time and you're enjoying some indulgences so that you don't feel super restricted and you end up just going crazy and off the rails? And is it a good place between being actually healthy and your doctor saying that everything looks good? That is your sweet spot, okay? There is no number on the scale that determines that. There is no BMI that determines that. It's in your head, it's in your body, and it is based on those actual factual numbers. I have a lot of women that I work with, and they're still being hard on themselves. They're still beating themselves up because they think they should be at a certain number. And I'll ask them, okay, how do you feel? Are you able to move around? Are you able to do everything you want in life? Yes. Does your doctor say you're in good health? Yes. Boom. You're at your ideal weight. Now, you can wish you look like a bikini model. You can wish that you had washboard abs, but is that balanced? Think about it. They are, in order to get to that, you have to restrict your calories and your food. You have to exercise excessively. And is that going to make you happy? Are you going to be happy in life if you're not happy with your food and your diet and you're feeling restricted and like you're always on some kind of harsh plan and you're punishing yourself with exercise? Okay, they look happy and healthy and like everything is wonderful, but that's their Instagram self. That's their movie star persona. You don't know if they're actually healthy and happy. So skinny does not equal happy, okay? And what do you have to give up in order to be that, quote, ideal weight? So to sum it all up, it's not about the number on the scale. Your perfect weight, your ideal weight is not a one size fits all. It is very personal to you, and it's about being happy and healthy and comfortable in your body. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And until next time, I will see you then.